The new Crusader Kings III DLC, All Under Heaven, just dropped, and it added all of Asia and a ton of new mechanics. So naturally, I'm going to use said game mechanics to turn Japan into the ultimate isolationist superpower, making the Japanese land the most developed in the world, built entirely from within. And then in 400 years, we'll beat up China, the Mongols, and everyone else in Asia to push the Japanese Empire beyond its peak historical borders they had during World War II. I got an absolutely crazy plan laid out for this campaign, so it should be a lot of fun. I'm starting as Kokoshi Nakatomi Oyoshi of Tosa, one of just a couple remaining governors of the Shinto faith left in Japan. Normally to get stronger, you simply take the land of your neighbors, but oh man, does the new Japanese system completely change that. Japan in 867 starts as the Ritsuryo government type, which is a type of administrative government, like what the Byzantines have, except it's got all kinds of new stuff as well. There are two important rulers in Japan, the ceremonial monarch, who is just that, ceremonial, and the actual leader of Japan, the Kampaku, or ruling regent. We'll want to try and get that position, but for now, we're just a lowly governor. Governors under the Ritsuryo government can only hold one county at a time, and succession is determined by a sort of election system where you put influence into a county to get a certain candidate to win. The amount of influence you get is based on your buildings and the amount of family members you have with land. The land we currently own isn't great, but over here, the Kuni of Chikuzen is one of the best counties I've ever seen. The capital has a Daizaifu office that gives like 1 million buffs, like 2 gold a month, plus 20% holding taxes, plus 20% dev growth, and even a buff to construction time, while the city in the same county has about the same buffs, but even more gold, and can be upgraded to make it even more OP. These holding tax bonuses apply to the whole county as well, so both buildings buff the other building's gold output. Oh, and as a bonus, this government type lets you hold cities, so we'll be able to hold both of them directly for some insane money. So of course, the first goal will be to get enough influence to take the amazing land of Chikuzen. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and I'm sorry for interrupting the video, but I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps out the channel, and on top of that, if we hit 25,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I'll do a bit of a All Under Heaven DLC giveaway in my Discord. Also, I'll be hosting a 100-player multiplayer game where we all play in China, and that's just another reason to join the Discord server. Okay, enough of that. Let's get back to the video. To get the Kuni of Chikuzen, we will need to get appointed. Each title has a page like this where you can see the top candidates for the title. Here, you can spend influence to boost a certain candidate's score, and once the current governor dies, the person with the highest score becomes the new governor. We can also start a scheme to increase the score of a candidate. For the governor of Chikuzen, I'm trying to get my player heir this land so that when I die, I'll be playing my son who has the OP land. Our character is a steward, so I'll go for the wealth focus to increase the amount of money we make. While we won't really be upgrading any of our buildings since we want to move counties, we can upgrade our manor, which is another special feature of Japan. All administrative governments have this system, but Japan has its own special manor buildings. We can construct a rice plot here for some gold and development growth. And once we get more money, I'll have to buy more things for our manor. No matter what we own, our manor will stay the same and continue giving us benefits. Since I want our player heir to get Chikuzen and not our county, I'll promote our second son's candidacy to get him to win our current county of Tosa above our heir. And here is another new feature. We're being invited to a house block, which is similar to a confederation, but for fellow vassals and with a couple new features. I can look at the block map view to see all the blocks. I think I want to join a more powerful block, so I'll say no to this request. Actually, instead of waiting for a request, I can use some influence to ask the Saga block to allow me to join. The Saga block appears to be pretty powerful. With the way succession works, there's no reason to not marry a bunch of other families for alliances. Having alliances with other houses is another way to increase the amount of influence we get per month. The government type here in Japan also has a system where these governance issues will pop up in your land and you can complete them for rewards. Okay, I know I keep explaining new game mechanics and it might be confusing, but here is yet another mechanic. This one is fairly simple though. Each house has a house aspiration that gives certain bonuses. It costs prestige to change aspirations and to increase the level of them. I want to swap over to a prosperity aspiration which grants buffs to stewardship actions. I don't have quite enough prestige, so I'll have to wait. Well, isn't that convenient? Our block leader wants us to change our aspiration to follow him, and it just so happens that he wants us to change to prosperity. I mean, he's paying us to do what we wanted to do anyways. The most important thing about Japan is that the government type changes over time. This vassal up here was the first to do it. There's the government type, Soryo. It allows you to control more than one county and have a bigger military. It has feudal succession instead of administrative succession, so it's a pretty big change. Eventually, all of Japan will change to Soryo. We have enough gold, so I can keep getting more domicile upgrades for more gold income. Our promote scheme we started earlier finally finished, and we succeeded in getting our son promoted, which increases his Canada score. He's now in first place for the County of Chikuzen. To actually get him in office, we have to get the current guy to either die or retire from his position. We can ask him to retire, and it's actually got an okay success rate. Our liege vetoed it, so instead of asking him, we can force him to retire. We can use gold and influence to greatly increase our chances of success. Influence, gold, and intrigue are the stats that matter for this. And it worked. Our firstborn son is now in charge of Chikuzen. We don't actually have to wait to die because I can retire. We just need a little bit more influence. Wait, because our second son is now first in line for our title, he's our new player heir. Well, that's not good. I can't designate heir this way. So if I retire now, I'll start playing as the wrong son. Okay, if I withdraw from governorship, my second son will get my title, but I won't start playing as him. And it looks like that worked. Now my oldest is back to being my heir, which means once I retire, I'll start playing as the governor of Chikuzen. And that's step 1 completed. We now have control over the OP county. With all this gold, we can upgrade our domicile buildings. I upgraded our mansion to level 2, so I have 2 new slots. I also plan to hold this county for a long time, so I should start upgrading his economic buildings. Excuse me? A 60% chance to die, huh? Well, we weren't a governor for very long. And we're now back to our original character, okay. We did keep Chikuzen, so this is fine. Our new player heir is now our grandson. Oh, I almost forgot. I gotta revoke our city vassal's title to control the city directly. Now that's a lot of money. We only have 1 county and 876, yet we're making 21 gold per month. Yeah, that's actually crazy. While we become rich, I'll try to get other family members into governor positions. Oh, here's another fun thing about Japan. If someone commits a crime, you can declare war on them in the name of your liege. And if you win, you get some influence. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to win. It looks like they just bought some mercenaries. I don't think there's any penalty to losing, so I can just run away and ignore it. I think our current goal should be to build up money and influence to try and become the ruling regent of Japan. We will need a lot more influence. I'm so glad we're rich. It really helps when overthrowing people. Oh cool, and with that appointment, our house is now one of the powerful families. We only need 1300 influence to become the leader of Japan, which we definitely will not get in this lifetime, but it's not completely unachievable in the future. I just gotta keep on getting family members into power. We've unlocked our first dynasty legacy. Japan has this new special branch called Elegance, which focuses on dynasty member relations and poetry. The first level increases opinion and block acceptance with dynasty members. I don't think the Elegance branch is all that good, but since it's new and exclusive to Japan, we have to get it. We're up to making a nice 7 influence per month. Well, I'm dying. So I might as well retire and start playing as our grandson. He's 23, so we have the potential to get enough influence to become the ruling regent in his lifetime. One thing you need to know about influence from family members is that you need them to have a positive opinion of you to get it. Our uncle here doesn't like us, so I'll sway him until he does to increase the amount of influence we get per month. Oh, what the hell? We got cancer. And now we're depressed? I mean, it makes sense that we become depressed from getting cancer, but damn, God is not pulling any punches on us. Look at this. We've unlocked the ability to switch our government type. It's considered a crime, so I won't be doing it now, but we have the option to do so. Before doing that, I'll need a strong enough military so I don't get destroyed by our liege. This will definitely make us stronger. I can upgrade the Hakata port for 700 gold, but it's definitely worth it. Since we really don't have any military slots, I need to save up money for mercenaries if we want to go the war route. Well, the cancer got us at 31 years of age, and we're now playing our 5-year-old son. In this government type, children can't be governors, so some random guy took our place in Chikuzen, and now we're a kid with no land. I'm really just gonna have to wait until we're of age before attempting to take it back. We've come of age and we were able to build up a nice pile of influence while waiting. It didn't take too much to become first in line for the title, but now I need to get the current guy out of office. A 24% chance to request retirement isn't great, but we will try it. And yeah, that failed. I can also request reappointment from our liege, which also just failed unfortunately. Well, all the more diplomatic ways to get reinstated failed. My last idea is to commit murder. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of murder. Damn it, that failed too. I'm waiting to be able to attempt to get rid of our rival's title, and I've gotten enough renown for a second legacy. This legacy's biggest thing is the bonus to poetry. What the hell? Our rival came over and messed up 3 of my family members and stole some money? Not the money! Wait, like, that's actually crazy. Okay, it's finally been long enough to attempt to force retirement on this guy. Let's go, it worked. Oh, how I've missed this beautiful land. I don't want that kind of thing to happen again, so I want to convert to Sorrio. I've discovered that I can petition our liege to convert so that it is not considered a crime. Once we have the new government type, we will have the ability to forcibly take power and eventually become the shogunate. Once we meet the requirements, we can establish Sorrio fief. We're currently a part of this pretty big house block, and I just got the current block leader removed from governorship, which will now let me claim house block leadership to make us the leader of the block. It's my block now. This county is so busted. We're making 25 gold of profit a month right now. So I could either get enough influence to become the ruling region peacefully, or I could convert to Sorrio to take the government over through force. This guy in our family is actually in line to become the next Kanpaku of Japan, so maybe I'll just see if I can get him in the office. Oh, come on! Our liege just revoked our title just like that, and I don't even get to fight it? And we're back to being landless. I'm still next in line for the title, so I'll try getting the new guy out of here. Okay, we got him out. Wait, our liege owns it now? And he gave it to some random guy. I'm not sure why it didn't go to us. We're still first in line. I'll try removing the new guy again. Oh, okay, cool. It worked this time. Well, we're now in charge of Chikuzen once again. That was really scary. That settles it. If the system is going to work against me, I need to break the system. I'm changing to the Sorrio government type. The first thing you'll notice is that we no longer have influence. Our succession is now the basic partition, which is the same as it is in Europe. Unfortunately, we can no longer hold cities directly, so I'll have to grant the beautiful city of Hakata to a vassal. The island off our coast has this nice silver mine. Now that we're Sorrio, we can declare wars on other vassals. It's considered a crime to declare war on Ritsurio vassals, but Sorrio ones will be fair game. Another huge change is that our military size is no longer limited. We can get ourselves some more mountain samurai, which are a special type of archery cavalry with some pretty good stats. I'm looking between the special buildings map mode and the government type map mode to decide which county I want to try and take. There's a special building in the Sorrio county that I could attempt to take. If we declare war, we just need to make sure we win within 3 years. If it takes longer, our liege can join and put an end to it. I decided not to declare war right away, as I'm looking at this decision to assert regional dominance. It would turn us into a duke and make all the land around us into our vassals. The domicile building requires a future tech to get, so I'll focus on the other ways to do the decision, like upgrading our house aspiration. We need a bunch of prestige to upgrade our house aspiration, which I changed to the determination, since it's required by the decision. I'll have to hold a bunch of hunts and feasts to get the prestige required. I have enough to upgrade our aspiration to level 2. And the next and final upgrade is going to cost us 5,000 prestige. Well damn, that's a lot. While we wait to get that much prestige, I might as well use this claim I fabricated to get ourselves another county. Wait, they're actually going to attack us? But they just got off a boat and we're in the mountains. Yeah, their commander should have went to a better school. We just killed 2,200 men in one battle. There's a new county for us. Okay, this is super important. I fabricated a claim on that island with the mine. And since I have a claim, declaring this war is no longer considered a crime like it was before. That means we can take Ritsurio land, as long as we have a claim on it. I can call all my house members into the war to boost our numbers. I think the enemy still has more troops than us, but if I reach the island before they all arrive, I'll have an advantage. We were actually able to just siege the castle real fast, so the enemy allies didn't arrive at all. We just unlocked the 3rd dynasty legacy, which will increase our level of fame impact while making festivals cheaper. It also unlocks this men-broken house relations interaction, but I'm not sure what it does. The county of Echigo has a pretty cool special building, so I'm going for it to top off our domain limit. Our men are mostly mounted samurai, which is why they are able to win battles while outnumbered. Oh, our enemy got a lot more troops by buying some mercenaries here. I'll buy some mercenaries of our own so we can guarantee to win this battle. Ah, well, I sieged the castle before they got here. I guess I wasted money on those mercenaries then. Better safe than sorry. This county we just got has a jade mine, which gives us plus 3 gold per month. I've finally gotten 5,000 prestige and can now upgrade our house aspiration to the max level, which should let us establish Soryo fief. Apparently not. I don't know what's happening. I definitely have a fully upgraded determination house aspiration. I tried relogging, but it's still not working. I guess it's glitched then. I guess we'll just have to beat the entire nation of Japan as just a count. I'm creating a faction to do just that. I'll go ahead and purchase some mercenaries to prepare for the war to come. I'm sure we'll be fine, let's just press our demands. The entire block of our liege is joining, so there's a bunch of troops all scattered around. It looks like they are going for our capital, so I'll have to go and defend that. Well damn, they're running away. Okay, I caught some of them at least. I think the war goal is the capital, so I need to go take that. We got it. Yeah, now that we have the war goal, it's just a waiting game now. Our mercenary contracts are ending, so I'll have to extend them. Although I'm starting to run out of money. As a last ditch effort, they're attempting to siege my capital. I hope I can win this battle, and it looks like I will. Oh yeah, we crushed them. And with that, we've won the war. Hey, look at that. We're Japan now. My domain limit is still limited, so I'll have to give up some land. As the leader of Japan, our next goal will be to formalize the shogunate, which will require the powerful ministry's law, which is the same as level 3 crown authority. To get that, we will need the royal prerogative innovation. Look at us, living in the Heian Palace. Okay, here's the absolute best thing about taking over Japan through force. We've adopted the primogeniture law, which has our oldest son inherit every single one of our titles, which means we have perfect succession. We're the culture head, so we can pick which innovations to go for. We'll get royal prerogative in 35 years, and then we'll officially become the shogun. Lots of stuff is going on now that we're the leader of Japan, but the most important thing to take away is that we now control the capital of Kyoto and can declare foreign wars. Well, not yet. Japan requires a specific law to declare external wars. You should also know that we're not the only ruler of Japan. There is a ceremonial monarch called the Tenno, a position of royalty. I'll try to become the Tenno as well later in the game. Now that we're the leader of Japan, we can begin to consider our nation's religion. We have a few different religions in our nation, but I'll want to try and convert the land to our true Japanese religion of Shintoism. All 5 holy sites are in Japan, which is pretty cool. To get bonuses from a holy site, you need the owner to be the correct religion, so I'll try to get our vassals to convert so we can get those bonuses. Okay, remember how I said you can't call external wars? Here's why. We currently have the disarmament policy, which prevents external wars, but it's nice otherwise as it gives us 15% dev growth. Since we're the regent, we can change the law now. There's a few options, but the important one is imperial pacification, which allows you to declare external wars. Once we become the shogun, I want to change our policy so that I can take the rest of the island. Well, time to wait 35 years. I should go make a sandwich or something. To make that 35 years a little quicker, I'll switch to a learning focus and grab the scientific perk for improved research speed. I'll also switch our aspiration back to prosperity for the construction benefits. While we wait, let's talk about the Japanese culture. It comes with 6 brand new traditions, so that's pretty cool. The first one is Fragile Peace, which is what lets me get mounted samurai. This tradition gets upgraded when you become the shogun, so I'll talk about that later. The next tradition, Ephemeral Grace, is one that I like a lot. It's like the refined poetry tradition combined with the court gardener's tradition. It adds a court position that grants development growth, which is the best part about it. Then we have Yashima, which grants prestige when building stuff in mountains and forests. Again, the best part about this is that it gives some dev growth in hills and mountains, while giving construction cost reduction buffs in mountains and forests. It's an all-around great tradition for the terrain in Japan. Then we have the Inward Perfection, which makes forming a hybrid culture almost impossible. It reminds me a bit of staunch traditionalist and isolationist. The interesting part about this is that it reduces the research speed for naturally spreading innovations, but increases the speed of the innovation you're actually focusing on. As the 5th tradition, we have Dynastic Pragmatism, which has a few things, but the most important one is that committing adultery is not considered a sin, and is instead accepted. Because of this, there is a ton of adultery if you play in Japan. Lastly, we have Warrior Monks. It adds a new men-at-arms type that I chose not to go with in this game, but it is super interesting. Instead of gold or prestige to buy and maintain, they cost piety, which makes the troops good for religious characters that don't make much gold. There's the Yamato culture for you. Luckily, you don't need to learn about any other cultures, as all our land starts with a united culture. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled program, where we just died. Our government type greatly limits the amount of land we can hold directly by adding a maximum domain limit. Importantly, the divided attention perk was changed for Japanese characters to increase this maximum domain limit by 1, so it's a very important perk to get. Normally with this much stewardship, we could hold a lot more land, but the limit is not increased by stewardship. Even though we only have 3 holdings, we're still making over 50 gold per month, so I think this limit is fair. I've decided to replace dynastic pragmatism. I don't particularly commit a lot of adultery, so I think it's fair to get rid of it. I'm replacing it with hill dwellers, since we have a ton of hills terrain and I love development growth. So I got divided attention and I want to take my county back, but my vassal will say no, so I'll need to do a bit of a civil war. Civil wars in Japan are so funny. Everyone just has a few hundred troops. My whole army is mounted samurai, so we shouldn't struggle to win our land back. Let's ignore the war for a sec, because I just got another dynasty legacy. This 4th one here makes your domicile better, so that's neat I guess. Anyways, I won the war and got our land back. Apparently the other houses didn't like that. Here's another thing to do while we wait. Let's visit the Silk Road in China. Traveling to the Silk Road lets you unlock new innovations for your culture. Here we unlocked Pharmacopoeia. You can see in our innovation page that it's now here, and we can research it when we want to. We can visit the Silk Road every 10 years, so I'll do it every chance I get as I want all the innovations possible. Just got myself enough prestige to upgrade the house aspiration to the max level of prosperity, which gives some nice buffs. Oh my god, it's happening. It's happened! We finally got royal prerogative. I'll be going for manorialism next, which will take 19 years, but who cares about that? We can up our crown authority. Actually, in Japan, it's called oversight instead of crown authority. Now if we go to decisions, we need more prestige. Okay, now we can actually do it. We'll get this new cultural tradition that adds samurai. I actually think samurai contend with Iranian veterans for best heavy infantry unit in the game. There we go, we're now officially the shogun. We unlocked this decision to move our realm capital, and I've decided to move it to Chikuzen, as it's actually just the best county in Japan. We already have the development up to 55, which is just absolutely insane at this point in the game. On top of all of that, we have an extra domain slot we can use, so I'll go for this mine in Taga. Now that we're the shogun, I think it's about time we lay claim to the rest of the island. To change the law, we need the realm to be at peace. I just gotta force these vassals to stop their wars. With peace, we can change our imperial policy to pacification. Let's just do a classic conquer war goal for this last county. And that's the last little bit of the island conquered. The northern part of the island actually belongs to a different de jure empire at the start of the game. Eventually, this top kingdom of Hidekami should de jure drift into the empire. Now we just have to wait for new innovations and development to go up. While we're just chilling, I'll do some legends for the bonuses they give. Hey, we just unlocked enough prestige for the 5th dynasty legacy. It's called War Tales, and it gives us prestige, knight effectiveness, and 5 knights, which is actually decent as knights can be pretty powerful. You know, I've mentioned development quite a bit, but what does development actually do? You probably already know that it increases the research speed, but it also directly impacts the amount of gold a county makes. Our average development is fairly high, especially for such a big culture, so we don't have to wait too long for the new innovations. Completing that legend is letting us add a new duchy to our de jure land. And the Empire of Japan grows further. Look how many dev growth bonuses we get. So I thought becoming the shogun was what gave me an extra domain slot, but I was wrong. I actually got it from my block bonus. If your block cohesion is at least 75 out of 100, the leading house head gets an extra domain limit. That's very useful to know. Dance time! We've finally unlocked manorialism. I'm going for battlements next, which unlocks level 2 castles. Manorialism lets us upgrade all our domicile buildings. It also unlocks duchy buildings for us, like the royal reserves here, which grants development growth in the entire duchy. I need to create some more duchy titles to be able to build all the duchy buildings we can, but I think I have enough money, so that is not an issue. We're holding more than 2 duchy titles, which invokes a penalty, but the penalty is minus opinion for vassals, which I honestly don't care about. In our domicile, the best buildings and upgrades are the ones that give dev growth, as that applies to our holdings. Hey, wait a second. We're the primary heir to our ceremonial monarch. Wouldn't it be funny if we were the monarch and the shogun? Wait, I actually have a really good chance at forcing him to abdicate. Well, that was easy now, wasn't it? We're now the Tenno. Yeah, look, there's no longer 2 heads of the government now. It's just me. We have the option here to restore direct imperial rule. I don't think we actually get anything for this since we already have the primogeniture law, but it sounds cool, so I'll do it. Cool. We're just the obvious and legitimate ruler of Japan now. You know what? We can make ourselves even more legitimate by consecrating our bloodline, making zealous vassals like us more. There we go, there's battlements. We can upgrade all our castles to level 2, and once they reach level 2, I'll be able to upgrade my other buildings to level 4. I'm integrating yet another duchy into de jure Japan. Just one more duchy on this island. Okay, with our castles upgraded, the economic buildings are going to be upgraded next. Ooh, and we can upgrade our mines. We're just casually making over 100 gold per month. We're cool like that. We really don't have that many buildings to upgrade, you know, since we only have 5 direct holdings. I can use some of our extra money to purchase development growth buildings in our cities, as dev growth bonuses apply to the whole county, not just the city. I can also do oaths like Shape the Realm, which gives dev growth once we construct or upgrade enough buildings. The next innovation I'm going for is magistrates, which will give us an extra building slot. It'll be good timing too since I've fully upgraded my domain. At this point, dying really doesn't matter. With our succession law, all our titles are passed down to our oldest son, who I keep training to be awesome. I've also been marrying quick, intelligent, and genius women into our family to get the best stats possible. We got that extra building slot for magistrates now. I'll be mostly building hospices so we don't die to plagues. Whoa, okay, this is awesome. I forgot about this, but Hill Dwellers lets you get windmills early if you get level 4 hill farms. Yeah, look, Hill Dwellers unlock windmills early. There's not really any more economic innovations to unlock until the next era, so we'll have to wait again. I take that back. We just got a new innovation that gives extra taxes in mountains and hills, which we have a lot of, and a bonus in holdings of mines, which is 3 out of 5 of our domains. We have an excessive amount of money, so I'm gonna build a bunch of cities in our vassals' land to bump up that development growth. Our manor's maxed out, our domain's maxed out. It's a waiting game now. Okay, the Silk Road is awesome. Here's another cool innovation that will help us. It gives 10% dev growth. So how do I get my heirs to be so good? The main thing is that you always want an excellent tutor set to educate children. This will give your child bonuses and a random stat every year. On top of that, make sure you marry people with good inheritable traits. The genius trait, for example, will give your kid +5 in all stats just from the get-go. The waiting is almost over. In just 5 years, we will enter the high medieval era, where we will get innovations to increase our money even more. Watching China from the sidelines is quite enjoyable. They just keep exploding into a bunch of kingdoms, and then they all get conquered and united once again. Welcome to the early medieval! I'll be going for windmills first to unlock the 2 best buildings ever, and an additional building slot. It'll take 16 years. Holy shit, what the hell's going on over here in the Middle East? The Khazars own everything. I'm glad to be chilling on my island of peace over here. I'm spamming feasts, festivals, hunts, and especially coronations, which for some reason you can hold more than once. Coronations give a boatload of prestige, so it's definitely worth doing. I'm saving up a ton of prestige for something important. Actually, what we should do is get another cultural tradition. Each era unlocks another slot, so we have an open one. There's this regional one that gives a ton of dev growth in terraced hills, and while we have a few of those, my mainland isn't in the terraced hills terrain. I'm debating between maritime mercantilism for the extra golden coastal holdings, which is most of our land, or mountain homes for more development growth in mountains, which we also have a lot of. You know what? We're currently isolationist, so I think mountain homes just makes more sense. In 30 years, we will have yet another buff to dev growth. Once that finishes, I'll use the rest of my prestige. I want to change our ethos from ceremonious to bureaucratic, and that would cost 20,000 prestige. I'm still going for windmills, but I thought I'd mention that I unlocked his innovation Coking from the Silk Road that gives development growth in forests, which would be another great buff for us. Hey, we unlocked windmills, and at the same time, we reach 100,000 gold. I can upgrade my duchy buildings, and I have a new slot. Windmills are the best building ever. They give percent holding taxes combined with a huge amount of development growth. We also unlocked watermills, which decreases the amount of gold it takes to build stuff. It still has the percent holding taxes and dev growth, but less so than windmills. Windmills are better, but I'll go with watermills first, as it'll reduce the cost of the windmills when I build them. The next innovation in the high medieval era that I'm getting is guilds, which also adds a building slot. You know what we need to do? We need to take this northern island. I'll start fabricating claims. Once the claims are ready, I'll also need to switch back to imperial pacification. I went back to disarmament for the dev growth. Before we declare any wars, I'm upgrading our military with some cloud ladders, which are the Asian equivalent to mangonels. I also have way more samurai riders than before. I'm just going for this duchy first. We have a way stronger military, so taking this island is going to be trivial. Well, maybe not. I mean, the other half of this island is owned by Samhan, or Korea. Oh, what the hell? My sister was killed by her husband. Let's invite him to court. Imprison him. Yeah, I can't believe he fell for that. Bro is getting burned at the goddamn stake for that shit. I just hunted a legendary white heart. I'm kinda awesome like that. I did it because I swore a greatest hunter oath. Although the awards aren't all that good, it was still kind of fun. Oh yeah, look at this. As the ceremonial monarch, we have this cool court here. It looks pretty nice. Hey, guilds were discovered. Huh? There's no new building slot. Let's see. Nope, definitely have the innovation. I'm so confused. Why don't we have a new building slot? It looks like our city's got a new one. Yeah, I don't get it. Maybe it's a bug or something I don't understand. Let me know if you know what's happening. I guess I'll just replace my cows with some windmills. Windmills are way better after all. Wait, what? Is this another glitch? Why the hell can I not build windmills past level 1 here? What the fuck is happening? Yeah, things are weird, and I'm gonna ignore the issues by declaring war for Hokkaido, which is now sort of owned by the Mongols. We're just the best, so it shouldn't be too hard. Oh yeah, for my tech I'm going for hoardings, which will unlock level 3 castles. Wasn't too hard, wasn't too hard. I'm granting the land away to locals to prevent the spread of our culture. The land here has pretty low development, so I don't want it to decrease our research speed. Just to finish getting the modern day Japanese borders, let's take Okinawa while we're at it. I think we control all the land Japan does in the modern day, although I could be wrong. And ignore all that stuff in the north. It's nomadic or tribal land, I don't know, I didn't go to war for it. I just keep randomly getting counties added to the realm. It's been a while, but Mountain Homes just finished getting established. Now we can go up here and change our culture from ceremonious to bureaucratic. Obviously I gotta do it, it gives dev growth. The cultural fascination progress is nice too. Well, that'll take 30 years. So the county here has a forest, mountain, and hills terrain type within the county. That means when you look at the development growth bonuses, you'll see the percentages added for the hills and for the mountains here, even though the capital is just the hills. Once we get that Silk Road innovation for forest dev growth, that will apply here as well. Having various terrain in one county with different bonuses for all the terrain types can be really powerful. Due to the way Japan is laid out, most of the counties have multiple terrain types in them, so this effect applies all across the island. I've gotten our Shinto faith to spread quite well, with most of the island following the Japanese faith. All the holy sites are controlled by a Shintoist, which I suppose is the most important part. Hi hoardings, how you been? It's time to get us some level 3 castles. They're really cheap from all our bonuses, huh? Once these finish upgrading, we'll be able to upgrade our economic buildings as well. I decided to research urbanization next, as it's the required innovation to upgrade our domicile. Japan is actually busted with all these mines you can hold. Here's another building, the water management building. I got it from a Silk Road innovation, and it gives % holding taxes and dev growth, so I just thought it'd be cool. I'm almost finished upgrading all our economic buildings, which has us at nearly 300 gold of profit per month. By the way, this is just with 5 holding slots. If you want to become rich, Japan is a great place to play. Smallpox is ravaging the countryside. I'm sure we'll be fine. Oh yeah, plagues are different in this update. They're much larger, but less frequent, which I think was a good change in general. I still play with them set to very rare though. Just a few of our kids are dying to smallpox, so I'm sure it's still fine. We're an 86-year-old infirm and somehow we survived smallpox. We're just too good. There's urbanization completed, and now I'm upgrading our domicile buildings. To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if upgrading the domicile buildings really matters anymore. I mean, come on, I'm making 300 gold a month. Wait, I take it all back. Upgrading our manor increases our max domain limit, and we can now hold 6 castles. I gotta decide on which castle to take. What about this one with the Grand Temple? With the new castle, we actually are making over 300 gold of profit per month, and we got 200,000 in the bank. Here's another new feature, but this one is definitely not a positive for us. We're experiencing our first natural disaster, an earthquake. This is my first time getting something like this, so I really don't know how it works, but I can't imagine it's good. God damn, people just keep dying and development is getting reduced like crazy. Okay, these counties actually got cooked. We're able to pay about the same amount of gold it takes to send a kid to university in this game to rebuild entire cities. I think this says a lot about university. Yeah, look at how low the development here is now compared to the rest of Japan. At this point in the game, we're just excessively powerful, earthquake or not. Once we get just a couple more military techs, our military will be huge and we will be able to crush anyone. We could theoretically get stronger by waiting 70 years to enter the next era, but like, I don't want to do that. So you know how Japan was a huge empire during World War II? We're gonna do that, but 800 years early and much larger. Starting with Korea in just a bit. Oh, come on, another earthquake? This one wasn't as bad at least. Let's ignore the earthquakes and take Korea. I fabricated a bunch of random claims so we can get about half of Korea in this one war. To be honest, I don't think this will be hard. Yeah, okay, this is gonna be super easy. We just seized their capital in like 2 secs, and we're now at 75% war score. Looks like we're about to fight their army at 10,000. And we killed every single one of them to win the war. Now we have half of Korea. Korea is split in half in the modern day too, except this time we got East Korea and West Korea instead of North and South. I have to give away all the titles manually, which kinda sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Fabricate claim time once again. We almost have claims on the rest of Korea, just need a few more. Oh, and we're making 400 gold a month, just thought I'd mention that. I'm sorry guys, but I'm getting rid of warrior monks. They're super cool, but not particularly good troops, and I'd rather get 10% extra tax in most of my counties with maritime mercantilism. We gotta wait 40 years for that though, so it'll be a while. Okay, I skipped past a few years, but we now have claims on the rest of Korea, and I'm ready to take it. I mean, it should be even easier than last time since they have less land. Oh, and I have new military techs I forgot about. I probably should have upgraded my army before declaring war, not that it really matters. We got new siege units, and we can have 12 units in each regiment instead of 8. And Korea is mine. Ha 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 ha. We're close to having every innovation we can get before the late medieval, since it only takes a few years per innovation. I never really thought about it before this DLC, but at least in-game religion was much more unified and consolidated in the West, while it's a complete hodgepodge mess of varying faiths in the East, and this map shows that to an extreme. I've decided that I want to take Taiwan. The rest of Taiwan is controlled by the Jing dynasty, and wait a second, that means I border this major faction of China. China is currently in its civil war phase, which means there's this consolidate land war goal, which means I could take half of China in a single war. I'm looking at the dynastic cycle here, and yeah, it'd be for 45% of all of China. I wasn't planning on going to war for China this early, but this opportunity feels impossible to pass up on. I mean, like, we'd get stronger in the late medieval, but is there any reason to wait that long? Because by then, China will probably be unified and this war goal won't exist. Yeah, let's do it. I just got my 3,300 men-at-arms taking castles here in southern China. I just stack wiped their army. All I had to do was win one decisive battle and take just a few castles in southern China, and apparently that was enough to get 100 war score for the whole place. Look how much land there is, and I was able to get it by only taking the small area. Now isn't that lovely? I can continue using the consolidate land under heaven war goal to take more of China. We could technically claim the mandate of heaven, but that would make our government China, and we're not China, we're the Japanese Empire. It may seem like we're clearly the strongest nation, but we've yet to fight the Mongols, and the Mongols always find a way to be difficult. With the parts of China we got, we're making 900 gold per month, by the way. Like, I don't even have any tax buffs enabled right now. The Mongols control this part of northwest China, but I want to own China. Let's just go for it. I'm gonna see if my army can beat the riders. Yeah, I don't know, they're pretty strong. Oh yeah, we lost the battle for the first time. Just gotta get some mercenaries. Okay, well, most of them are already hired, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, we might be screwed. Well, shit. I have an absolutely crazy plan to make our army stronger. Samurai have weaker stats than mountain samurai, but they have double the size per stack. I think the damage would be about the same, maybe slightly lower, but the toughness would be way higher, like nearly double. I can also get this guy with the Vanguard Accolade trait, which will let us get even more heavy infantry than usual per regiment. Yep, I'm disbanding my entire army in the middle of a war. This is actually insane. And now I will replace all those regiments with samurai. Samurai look pretty cool, I'll give them that. Just another bonus about samurai is that they have no terrain disadvantages. One unfortunate thing about Japan is that we don't have enough domain slots to station each of our regiments and counties that will make them stronger. I think if we were able to buff our mountain samurai with buildings, we could have won this war with them. I'll wait for our troops to replenish, then attack. I want to attack them in the hills or something so the riders have a disadvantage. Ah, well that sucks. I'm pretty sure we would have beaten them, but they won the war just before I could. I will get my revenge. It's not technically the Mongols anymore, but it's still nomadic riders. We have so many advantages here, but the game still thinks we'll lose decisively. To be honest, that wasn't too bad. It was pretty close. I think I can take land quicker than them, so we might be able to win this war by sieging and running away. Unfortunately, they just caught me, and it looks like my army is going to be crushed. I'm going to do a white peace real fast. Apparently, I need to get even stronger to beat the nomads. Holy shit, that is a lot of deaths. Don't worry about it, the Yellow River is flooding. We clearly have enough money, so I'll begin replacing some of our economic buildings we have with barracks for heavy infantry damage. I can also take other places for fun, like the Philippines here. We have a guy in our court with a claim on the kingdom here, and we can take it for him, and he'll become our vassal. We've been losing to the nomads because they have been buying all the mercenaries before us, so this time I'm going to buy them before declaring the war. Our nation is bigger with new colonies, making us nearly 1,000 gold per month. I'm gonna win the war this time. Okay, well, I mean, we won. I mean, that was kind of funny though. I didn't get to fight their army, but we'll take it. Good job, Japan. Can we really call ourselves the Japanese Empire if we don't start colonizing a bunch of islands? I took all of the Philippines, and now I want to take Indonesia, but it looks like it's not just one realm here, and is instead a group of tributaries, which I think is how the new government type in this area works. Man, would this be an awful place to conquer. You know what? I'm happy with our Japan. We're making 1,200 gold a profit per month. We could technically become China if we wanted to. Japan is busted. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. Become a channel member, maybe. Oh, here's a game where I play Switzerland. You can check that out if you want to.